Alright guys, it's a little bit chilly out here today. Thought I'd try to shoot a really quick vlog. I'm going to go put the proper air pressure in my tires. They're feeling kind of low, and I just checked them and they are about 10 to 15 pounds off. The subject I've been thinking about, aside from the election, I'm not even going to get into that. I'm just not. It did make me think of somewhat related things that I have been thinking about, and now seems like a really relevant time to approach it based on some of the things I've been reading on social media. And by the way, if I was friends with you on Facebook and now I'm not, I either unfriended you or it's just because I deleted my Facebook. So that's something I've done several times in the past, delete my Facebook, but honestly, it was just getting to the point where I couldn't handle it or handle myself anymore, if you guys know what I mean. Just too much negativity for me from all directions. Is this the air? Is that the air? Is this air? What is this? Car wash is open. That is not air. This is a vacuum. Car wash. Okay, there's not air. Okay. Cool. Alright, so we're going to have to wait on a train here, but so this is going to make for a really boring visual, but I apologize. Anyway, I still managed to see, even though I deleted my Facebook, I still managed to see a lot of negativity coming from the Trump campaign people, in particular, which it relates back to what I had really originally thought about vlogging about a long time ago, was basically the backlash against social justice warriors. So what I have noticed happening is you have social justice warriors who are sort of overzealous, usually privileged white people, taking up the banner of other oppressed people. And the reason why it's annoying is because they're usually, they don't have like an authentic stake in the matter necessarily, and they're often very inarticulate or whatever. But I think what has happened is the baby has gotten thrown out with the bathwater. What we've been doing is criticizing social justice warriors, period, and so far as making social justice seem as though if it's something that we should not want. And I think that that's really unfortunate, but it speaks to the inability of most people to think about things in nuanced ways. One of the things that the Trump campaign had brought up, and I think it's the woman who even said something about this, something to the effect of people need to realize that, essentially millennials need to realize that you don't win all the time, that this is a result of participation trophy culture, and that they are acting like entitled little special snowflakes by protesting the election, or protesting whatever, who cares. And what I would say to that is, anytime somebody sort of derisively talks about millennials, and I understand I am not a millennial, I am actually older, I'm technically Gen Y, and yes, millennials as a cohort have their own little idiosyncrasies that I think can be frustrating for other generations, but that's true of every generation. But I think that people that bash millennials are just really, it's sort of like intellectually lazy, in my view, to just bash millennials. So anyway, she basically said all these spoiled little entitled millennial snowflakes need to just suck it up. And that's the overall thing I want to talk about, is that mentality, that life is rough and pull yourself up by the bootstraps and, suck it up, buttercup, that kind of thing. And, if you guys have followed my channel for any length of time, you know that I am not really too shy about saying what I think, and I'm not really that PC, as it were, but at the same, so I recognize that life is harsh and not everybody can win, and not everybody is going to be good at everything they want to be good at. However, to promote a culture where this is, to me, it's promoting a mean, bullying culture. And the reason why I think that is not what we should go for is not necessarily really out of a sense of I want, things to be all kumbaya and rainbows and sunshine and everybody should get along and blah blah blah. I think that's pretty unrealistic as well. Okay, well that was a bus. I don't have any air for tires anywhere I'm going here for some reason. So, I don't know, that kind of language that sort of, I have to call you names and I have to emasculate you and make you seem weak and talk about how emotions are weak and having emotions makes you weak. That position in and of itself is weak. It shows a complete lack of understanding of the complexity of the human experience. It devalues emotion, and trust me when I say, and I am not a really emotional person naturally, and I have a hard time understanding the emotions of others, but trust me when I say that emotional energy is very powerful. It's a force to be reckoned with. We are facing a time when we really need to consider how we treat each other. We need to watch our words, and we need to don't resent political correctness. It exists for a reason, in the sense that just think about the things that you say and the impact it has on other people. There's nothing wrong with doing that and censoring yourself that way. The reason I say that is because some of the things that we think to say are not necessarily the best things that could be said. It may be what you're feeling right now, but let's face it, feelings aren't facts. And the more inclined we are to just sort of knee-jerk respond to things because we resent political correctness, I think that is going to just take our conversation and take the discourse in our country to such a low level that we're never going to get back out of the hole, if you guys know what I mean. It doesn't hurt to be sensitive to the feelings of other people, and that makes you a more powerful human being. It makes you more wise and certainly more mature, and in my view more divine, in the sense that I believe, and I don't always do this certainly, but I believe that our main goal should be personal excellence. And I don't know how personally excellent you are if you go around bashing millennials and trying to invalidate people's feelings to make yourself feel stronger. Look, we, and I say that very loosely, have voted in a person who many people perceive to be a very strong-willed, strong character. And I'm just asking you guys to think about what strength really means to you, human character wise. Like, what is strength actually? And I would argue certainly it's not somebody who bashes everyone around them. Whether you think they deserve the bashing or not. And I'm not saying, take the high road and let's all be nice to each other and never call out each other for bullshit. I just think that we need to be careful about who we look up to as a society, and we need to think about it, because I'm telling you right now, it's getting a little scary. It's getting a little scary, the kind of things that we admire as a culture, and it portends the downfall of an empire, if you understand history. So anyway, that's all I'll say. Trying to find some air for my tires here. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. I will let you guys go. I hope this wasn't too political for you guys. In the meantime, ride safe. It's getting a little colder out, so make sure you guys watch for these icy patches. And I'll talk to you guys later.